We're reporting, yes. Avast ye, mateys. And ahoy! I am Edward Teach, better known as, yes, come on, anybody speak up now? Yes, you! Very well done. Yes, I am Blackbeard the pirate, the fiercest and most famous pirate of them all. I was born in England of well-educated parents, and first went to sea as a privateer for the king, and then as a pirate in the West Indies. After all, why should I share my loot with the king? Bah! It was spring of 1717 when Captain Benjamin Hornigold and I set sail from Nassau to America, plundering the coast of Virginia and North Carolina and capturing all the best ships and loot for ourselves. Captain Hornigold unfortunately had to retire, yet before he did, he gave me his prize ship, the Concord, which I rechristened the Queen Anne's Revenge, and then I outfitted it with 40 guns and 300 men. But I needed an image. Yes, an image. I'd always been a coarse and hairy devil, so I let my beard grow full and black, and I let my hair grow down long. Then my first mate would braid red braids into my beard, and thus Blackbeard the pirate was born. Oh, what a sight I was! Out at sea I wore all black, from the, well, better boots than this, but big black knee boots and a huge bandolier coming across my chest where I stuck daggers and pistols and all over myself. Why, some of the merchants that we attacked would collapse on sight and just surrender because I was so horrifying. I even went so far as to stick fuses underneath my hat, dipped in saltpeter and lime water so they would burn very slowly. And my horrible vision, leading my pirate crew against these poor unfortunate merchant ships, they would throw down their arms and just surrender to me because I was just an evil person I was. Not really, mind you. Actually, I'm a pussycat. But I never mistreated my captives or harmed them if they obeyed my authority. However, no ring, no finger. If a gentleman refused to let me have his diamond ring, then I would take it, finger and all. What a lovely ring you have there, my lady. Oh, no, please, no, not to worry. I would never harm so beautiful a woman as you. That is my one weakness. Women. Why, in every town that I would go into, I'd go into the taverns and buy grog for all the women and applaud their dancing and fall in love with the most comely wenches there. Then I would entice them aboard the Revenge, where my first mate would perform a wedding ceremony to ease the pain of my departure upon the next town and the next wife. Ha ha ha! 14 in all, I'll have you know. Men thought me the devil, but women loved my devilish ways. I ruled the seas for months. Why, once I even blockaded Charleston, South Carolina, one of the biggest and busiest ports of those colonial days. It was about that time that King George decided that any pirate who wished to could surrender, as long as he swore an oath never to return to his piratical ways. Being a very wealthy man by that time, I decided that I should try this retirement. I went to Bath, North Carolina, where Governor Eden of North Carolina accepted my surrender. Governor Eden went on to become one of my closest friends, and some might say my accomplice. He even performed my 14th wedding ceremony to my beautiful 16-year-old bride, Mary. Well, I soon grew bored of this retirement life and went back to piracy and back to the sea. That's where my first love was. Why, there's a place right out here at Ocracoke Inlet that they still call Teach's Hole because of me. I would set anchor there and be able to watch all the ships passing by and take my choice of the best plunder. Ha ha ha! Why, I know these seas like the back of my hands. Sailed right up the Pasquotank River many a time I did. However, you should know that the old brick house upriver from here, said to be one of my homes, that is not necessarily so. The brick house was actually built in 1738. By that time, my skull had been dangling on a pole over the Hampton River for several years. It was Governor Spotswood of Virginia that sent that cur, Lieutenant Robert Maynard, down to North Carolina to capture me. Maynard showed up with 2 ships and 3 times the men that I had. Oh, sure, I could have run and maybe even gotten away, But that is not the way Blackbeard the pirate lives. I fought like a madman, with pistols, with daggers, with all of my strength. Unfortunately, it wasn't quite enough. I finally succumbed with 5 bullet holes to my body. Oops. Allow me to fix this, yeah. 5 bullet holes to my body it was, and several sword cuts also. 20 in all, I remember counting. But that isn't the worst of it. That cur, Robert Maynard, hacked my head from my body, and then tossed my headless corpse overboard. Still I had the last laugh. My headless corpse swam around the ship 5 times before finally sinking to Davy Jones's cold embrace. Maynard took my head back to Virginia as a trophy. There, he hung it on a pole above the Hampton River as a warning to pirates everywhere. Oh. Well, that's not the end of it even then. Several years later, they decided to take my head down, and they turned it into a huge punch bowl, serving rum punch at Raleigh Tavern in Williamsburg, rum punch being one of my personal favorites. I cannot think of a more fitting end to have my head pickled in rum punch for all eternity. Oh, and as for my treasure, people like you have been searching for that treasure for over 200 years. Well, only I and the devil know where the treasure is hidden, and I'm not telling. So shove off now, mateys, and keep digging! Ha 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 ha!